Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. There is a profound truth that governs human existence. We were all created with purpose, and every interaction we engage in is designed to fulfill a divine intention. Yet there are moments when silence replaces connection and distance replaces unity. Tonight, I want to speak to a matter that touches the very fabric of our identity as men and women when a man and a woman do not contact each other. You see, relationships are the bedrock of human experience. From the beginning, God said, it is not good for man to be alone, but what happens when a man and a woman choose or are forced to disconnect? What are the consequences of this gap? Not just in their lives, but in their purpose, their potential, and the kingdom's plan for their partnership. This topic is not just about communication, it is about purpose. It is about understanding that every connection we have carries the seed of destiny. When two people fail to engage, something more than conversation is lost. Opportunities for growth, for healing, and for building a legacy are left unrealized. Tonight, let us explore the principles that guide us back to meaningful connection and align our relationships with divine intent. Because when men and women understand their roles and responsibilities in God's plan, they will no longer avoid contact, but will embrace their calling to empower, uplift, and inspire one another. In every man and woman lies a unique essence designed to complement and complete each other. A man was created with an inherent desire to lead, protect, and provide, while a woman was endowed with the ability to nurture, support, and bring forth life, not just biologically, but emotionally and spiritually. When these two forces do not align, they fail to unlock the fullness of their design. It's like a puzzle missing its most vital piece. Neither side reaches its true potential. Let us consider the implications of a lack of contact between a man and a woman. Communication is the lifeblood of any relationship, and when communication ceases, it creates a void. In that void, misunderstandings flourish, assumptions grow, and bitterness can take root. A lack of contact is not merely the absence of words, but the absence of understanding, empathy, and connection. When a man and a woman fail to engage, they lose the opportunity to bridge the gaps that naturally arise between their differences. Those differences, rather than being barriers, are meant to serve as complementary strengths that bring balance and harmony. When a man and a woman do not contact each other, they miss the opportunity to share wisdom, experiences, and perspectives. Men and women were not designed to think, feel, or process life in the same way. This difference is not a flaw, but a feature. It is in the exchange of these perspectives that growth occurs. A man's logical approach to challenges is sharpened by a woman's intuitive understanding of emotional nuances. Likewise, a woman's compassion and insight are strengthened by a man's decisiveness and clarity. When there is no contact, these opportunities for mutual growth and enhancement are squandered. Furthermore, the absence of contact disrupts the balance of emotional well-being. A woman thrives when she feels heard, valued, and cherished, and a man flourishes when he feels respected, trusted, and supported. These needs are met through consistent and intentional communication. When communication is absent, these fundamental needs go unmet, leading to frustration, disillusionment, and even resentment. This breakdown doesn't just affect the individuals involved, it ripples outward, impacting families, communities, and society at large. In the absence of contact, trust begins to erode. Trust is not built in a moment, but through consistent acts of transparency, honesty, and presence. When a man and a woman avoid communication, they inadvertently create space for doubt and suspicion to take root. The less they communicate, the more their minds fill in the gaps with negative assumptions. Instead of fostering unity, they unknowingly build walls that separate them further. Beyond emotional and relational consequences, the lack of contact also affects purpose and destiny. Every person is born with a God-given purpose, and often that purpose is tied to the people they are called to journey with. When a man and a woman avoid contact, they miss the divine appointments and assignments that could be fulfilled through their partnership. Whether it's in marriage, friendship, or professional collaboration, their combined efforts often carry the potential to create something greater than they could achieve individually. This is not just about romantic relationships, but about every sphere of interaction where men and women are called to work together. The societal implications of men and women failing to connect are profound. The family unit, the cornerstone of any community, relies on the synergy between men and women to function effectively. When this connection is missing, families suffer. Children grow up without witnessing healthy interactions between men and women, which shapes their understanding of relationships in unhealthy ways. Communities lose the strength and stability that come from unified families and partnerships. In addition to these relational and societal consequences, there are spiritual implications as well. God designed men and women to reflect different aspects of his nature. When they come together in unity, they create a fuller picture of his character. The lack of contact between a man and a woman is not just a missed opportunity for personal growth, but a failure to reflect the divine image they were created to embody. The Bible tells us that iron sharpens iron. And this principle applies not only to friendships, but to all meaningful relationships. Without contact, there is no sharpening, no refining, and no progress. It is important to note that the absence of contact is not always intentional. Sometimes it is the result of fear, past hurts, or unmet expectations. Men and women may avoid each other because they have been wounded in previous interactions, and instead of facing those wounds, they choose to retreat. This retreat, while understandable, perpetuates a cycle of isolation and mistrust. The key to breaking this cycle lies in vulnerability, the willingness to open up, to forgive, and to seek understanding despite the risks. In a world that often emphasizes independence over interdependence, the value of connection between men and women is often overlooked. Society teaches us to focus on our individual goals and achievements, but this mindset neglects the truth that we were designed for relationship. Independence is important, but it should never come at the expense of meaningful connections. True strength lies in the ability to work together, to support one another, and to recognize that we are better together than we are apart. When a man and a woman do not contact each other, they also miss the opportunity to model healthy relationships for future generations. Young people look to the adults in their lives to learn how to navigate their own relationships. If they see men and women avoiding contact, failing to communicate, or harboring resentment, they are likely to replicate those patterns in their own lives. On the other hand, when they witness men and women engaging with respect, kindness, and purpose, they are inspired to do the same. This modeling creates a legacy of healthy relationships that can transform families and communities. The lack of contact between a man and a woman is not just a personal issue, it is a spiritual, emotional, and societal one. It affects how we see ourselves, how we interact with others, and how we fulfill our God-given purpose. It is a